Komisarz Kadri Simpson, bardzo proszę.
President, honourable members, only 3 months ago, the European Parliament was debating the violation of international law and human rights of children from Ukraine forcibly transferred or deported to Russia. Today, we are alarmed with the situation of 2 teenagers from the city of Berdyansk who face 10 to 20 years in prison for having reportedly tried to sabotage the railway to prevent the Russian armed forces from receiving material supplies. The reports of them being arbitrarily detained and tortured are appalling. We know that the chance for a fair trial in a territory that is temporarily occupied by Russia is next to zero. For us, it is clear. Charges against these teenage boys must be dropped. Those who need to be brought to justice are those responsible for the war crimes committed against Ukrainians by the Russian forces and so-called authorities that Russia has imposed in territories it occupies. We will continue to push for accountability for human rights violations and violations against international law. I remind in this context that Russia and Ukraine, for that matter, have ratified the Convention on the Rights of the Child. The rights of these 2 boys are thus blatantly violated. As the honourable members of this Parliament have already discussed, there have been other blatant violations with the forced transfer or deportation of Ukrainian children to Russia. The EU has imposed sanctions against 16 individuals responsible for the deportation and forced adoption of Ukrainian children, including the Russian Commissioner for Children's Rights, Ms. Lvova-Belova, and is ready to continue imposing sanctions. The EU strongly supports measures to ensure accountability, including the investigations of the International Criminal Court and the Ukrainian prosecutors general. The EU is committed to strengthen human rights and promote democracy around the world. The EU continues to urge Russia to stop its war of aggression against Ukraine and immediately, completely, and unconditionally withdraw all its troops and military equipment from the entire territory of Ukraine within its internationally recognized borders. The EU will continue its steadfast support to Ukraine to ensure Ukraine wins the war, wins the peace, and wins in court. Thank you.
Bardzo dziękuję.